So in this video, what I'm going to show you guys is how to do the substitution method, which is a method for solving simultaneous equations, and you need to be able to demonstrate this only once if you want to get an A for the fluency or maths part of the rubric. Okay, so the substitution method is as follows. What you need to do is you need to substitute one equation into the other. So these are the equations of two straight lines, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to substitute one equation. So say if this is our first equation, and this is our second equation, we're going to substitute this equation, y equals 2x plus 1, into this equation. So we have y equals 2x plus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace y in this equation with this. So we're going to substitute 2x plus 1 into here. And then we're going to have 2x plus 1 equals minus 3x plus 11. And so by substituting one equation into the other, we now have an equation that just involves x's. And we can solve this. So we want to get the x's on one side of the equation and the numbers on the other. The first step is to remove this minus 3x. And remember, when rearranging equations, we always do the opposite process. So the opposite of taking 3x is adding 3x. So we're going to add it to both sides of the equation to keep the equation balanced. They cancel out, and you're left with 2x plus 3x is 5x. So 5x plus 1 equals 11. And now we have a linear equation like we were solving the other day in class. So first step is to always remove the addition. So we're going to do the opposite of plussing 1, which is subtracting 1. They'll cancel out, and we're left with 5x equals 11 take 1 is 10. And then our final step is to divide both sides. So it's 5 times x. So opposite of timesing by 5 is dividing by 5. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now, we haven't finished. We're now going to substitute x equals 2 back into either of these equations. It doesn't matter which one. But I'm going to pick the top one because it's simpler. So we're going to have y equals 2 lots of, and then instead of x, we know what x is. X is 2. So we're going to replace x with 2. So 2 lots of 2 plus 1. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So our solutions to these simultaneous equations are 2 and 5. And if we put these two equations, y equals 2x plus 1 and y equals minus 3x plus 11, into Desmos, so y equals 2x plus 1 and y equals, was it negative 3x plus 11? Yeah. And you look at the intersection point, it's x equals 2 and y equals 5 as required. X equals 2, y equals 5, so we've done it right. Now, you need to demonstrate this substitution method only once. Once is enough to get an A for the fluency or maths part of the rubric. So you need to find the coordinates of where two lines intersect using the substitution method. And that's what we've just found. We found the solutions to these two lines. And what I would like you to do is, once you've done this in your Word document, show the maths, I want a screenshot of this, of the line, of showing the equations and where they intercept. Now, your lines, most of your lines in your Desmos assignment are not going to be this straightforward, are they? They're going to have decimals. So I'm going to do a second example, and this time we're going to use decimals. If you have fractions, convert the fractions to decimals, and we're going to do this method. So we're going to do the exact same process, but this time with decimals. So again, we're going to substitute y equals 1.7x, take 3, into this equation. So basically y is going to be replaced with 1.7x, take 3. And that's equal to minus 0.5x plus 4. And if there's decimals, if it's like 3.6, actually let's change it to 3.6. So we're going to make it 3.6. Okay, so again, same as what we did in the last example. We want to get x on one side and the numbers on the other. The first step is we want to get rid of this. So we need to do the opposite of minus 0.5x. So we're going to add 0.5x to both sides of the equation. They'll cancel out, and you type this into your calculator. 1.7 plus a half is 2.2x. 2x take 3.6 equals 4. And then it's just a linear equation with x on one side. So first we're going to get rid of the minus 3.6, so we're going to add 3.6 to both sides. They cancel out. You're left with 2.2x equals 4 plus 3.6 is 7.6. And then our final step is to divide both sides of the equation by 2.2. And we'll get, I have to use a calculator for that, 7.6. So 7.6 divided by 2.2. And that gives me x equals 3.454545 recurring, so 45, and that 4 will round up to a 5, so 3.455. Okay, and then we're not finished yet. Remember, we need to substitute x equals 3.455 back into one of our other equations. So we're going to substitute x equals that into here. So we're going to have y equals 1.7 times by, we're replacing x with 3.455, take 3.6. And if you use 3.455, it'll be slightly different, but the real answer is 3.4545. So I'm going to do 3.4545 multiplied by 1.7, and then I'm going to take away 3.6. And I'll get that y is equal to 2.273. And these are my solutions. So if I chuck these two into Desmos, so y equals 1.7x take 3, y equals 1.7x take 3, and the other equation was minus half x plus 4 minus half x plus 4, and look where they intersect. 3. Wait, did I type it in right? 1.7x take 3.6. So 1.7x take 3.6, 3.455, which is what I got, and 2.273, which is what I got, 2.273. And so I would like you to show the working and give me a screenshot showing where they intersect and the decimal, so just snipping tool that or print screen it. And you need to do that if you want to get an A for the fluency or maths part of the rubric. Cheers, see me with any issues.